Hello, everyone. My name is Jim Brennan, and I'd like to welcome you to the Tuesday World Meditation. Tonight, you join me from my home in Naples, New York. This sacred time and space is devoted to our shared practice of entering stillness together and of giving together. Let us first surround and protect ourselves with the love and the grace of God. Before we begin the stillness meditation, I'd like to share a few passages from the New Message about practice. I chose these two teachings because they both help me and to remind me when living in separation, I am always on a spiritual journey. And even when I leave, and when we all leave this planet, this world, this journey continues beyond this life. Here, the mystery is always with us, and we are always with the mystery. So, the first reading, I'm going to be reading from The Soul's Journey on Earth. This was received by Marshall Leanne Summers on October 25th, 2008, in Boulder, Colorado. You are traveling through time and space, engaged in a long journey of return to your ancient home. In this life and beyond, this journey continues. It is not a journey you make just for yourself. It is a journey you make for all those who have lost contact with the creator of all life. It is a journey of separation and return. It is a journey towards a greater experience of your purpose and your destiny. The journey is so very different from what people imagine because the imagination cannot contain a reality this great. Words, like ideas, give limit and form to things, but they cannot encompass greater realities. This requires reverence and resonance to experience the truth at a larger level. Ideas and beliefs are fine for small things, but a greater reality, the reality of your journey through time and space, is beyond what your imagination or your intellect can conceive at this moment. When the separation from God began, you could not separate completely because a part of creation is within you and has stayed within you, and you cannot get rid of it. It is as if God goes along for the ride. Wherever you go, God is there, within you and around you. You may say, I don't want to believe in God. I don't want anything to do with religion. That is fine, but God is still with you, and God is all around you. You may think God is all about this teacher, my savior, my saint, my prophet, but God is still within you and all around you. You are separated in your own mind, and the intellect is a product of this separation. It thinks it is who you are. It thinks it knows what reality is. It thinks it is your soul and your being. It thinks its thoughts represent its reality and distinguish it from other minds who have other thoughts. Your mind thinks that its reality is the reality of its ideas and its association with people, places, and things. But who you really are is beyond all this. Because God has remained within you, God's knowledge has remained within you. And this knowledge now is here to guide you, to protect you, and to lead you into a greater experience of life, so that the separation within you may be dissolved. This purpose and this destiny that knowledge holds for you is to contribute to a world in need within the very circumstances that you see today and which will be arising in the future. From the standpoint of knowledge within you, you are here on a mission. You have a greater purpose for being here. You are not merely an animal trying to survive, trying to be satisfied, trying to be happy, trying to be secure. You are a being from heaven who is part of the separation, who is now here to work towards your own self-discovery and redemption. While your mind continues to try to conceive of itself and attach itself to people, places, and things, knowledge within you is moving. It is advising you. It is counseling you. If you can hear it, you will benefit from it. But if you cannot hear it, then you cannot receive its wisdom, its blessing, and its empowerment. People think this one life is their whole existence and physical reality. Some people even think that physical reality will come to a final ending point within their lifetime. These ideas are the result of the limits of your imagination. To conceive of your life continuing beyond this into other arenas of life and other levels of service is really too much for most people to consider. They do not have the capacity to think at this level. This is the physical universe that has been created as a place for the separated to live in a separate reality. It is a wonderful and terrible, beautiful and frightening place. It is attractive and in some cases repulsive. It is so unlike your ancient home from which you have come and to which you will eventually return. And yet it is a place that requires contribution. It is a place of action. It is a place for forgiving. It is through this place that the soul must journey now. You are in the world for a greater purpose. You did not invent this for yourself. You cannot change this purpose. But how and if it will be experienced is up to the events of time and to your own decisions regarding it. So while your purpose is predetermined, the events of your life are not. At this level of existence, chance plays a very great role. And the importance of your decisions plays a very great role. Your mind is formed in isolation, and so it believes of itself as being a singular entity, an entity apart from other entities. It distinguishes itself and tries to use the body to distinguish itself. It is a product of separation, and it reinforces separation. But you also have a deeper knowledge within you, a deeper knowledge that has been placed there by God. It cannot be persuaded. It cannot be seduced. It cannot be induced to do things that go against its primary nature. It is like you have two voices in your mind. You might have more than two voices, but they all come down to being a voice for separation or a voice for a reunion. But the voice for a reunion does not think like your mind. It does not deliberate. It does not speculate. It does not judge and condemn. It does not base its reality on ideas or concepts or allegiances. Your journey, then, is to return to the power and presence of knowledge. Or said in other words, it is to become true to your deeper conscience, true to yourself, true to what you most deeply feel and know. This can be described within religious terms, or outside of religious terms, but it amounts to the same thing. With knowledge, you discover you are here for a greater purpose, and you see that you are being guided in certain ways and restrained in other ways. As you gain more confidence, you are able to follow this and to receive its great blessing and its great lessons about life. You do this without condemnation of yourself or others. You do this in humility, realizing that you are following a greater power, a power that is beyond the scope and reach of the intellect. You place yourself here as a student who presumes very little and is open to learn everything that must be learned. Knowledge is the answer because you become stronger with knowledge. You have greater certainty. You have greater confidence and you have greater strength and ability. You can face danger and uncertainty without anger and condemnation. You can face questions for which you do not have answers with inquiry, openness, and humility. You have the power to restrain your self-destructive tendencies and to distinguish the thoughts in your mind that are truly beneficial from all the other thoughts that you have absorbed from the environment around you. If you become strong with knowledge in this life, you will be given a greater level of service beyond the world. This may be service in this world or in other worlds. It may be service as a transcendent teacher, one of the unseen ones who guides those who are still living in form. Or you may return to the manifest world as a great teacher, as someone who has great promise to shed wisdom and guidance and resolution in another existence. Here there is no judgment day, there is only progress. You cannot return to your heavenly state full of anger, resentment, self-judgment, and condemnation of others. You cannot return to your heavenly state full of indecision and ambivalence, with addictions and self-destructive tendencies. You just simply cannot return in this state of mind. To think that all these things can be resolved within one life is to underestimate the problem. Even if you could resolve all of those things in one life, your accomplishment would be so great that God would want to use you to help others who are still lost in the state of separation. So you cannot return to heaven even under these circumstances. God is going to get maximum use out of you and maximum use and benefits from whatever wisdom you can acquire living in the physical reality. This is not a punishment, because what undoes all the tendencies and the memories and the suffering born of separation is contribution, is service. God does not merely dissolve all of these things within you because God did not create them. They must be dissolved within you, by you, and through you, by taking a different course in life. Your intellect is how you evaluate life from a position of separation. But if the separation is not real, it can never be complete, then your ideas must be relative in nature. Perhaps you can see the truth of things in time, of momentary things. You can solve problems because that is what the intellect is for. It is to solve problems within a limited range of your experience in this life. This is the real value of the intellect. In service to knowledge, it is a wonderful instrument of communication. This is what it's for, and this is what redeems it and gives it a greater purpose and a greater meaning. Your happiness in life will be born of your connection to knowledge and the great service it will render through you, and the redemption it will give to your mind and to your emotions. You will finally begin to feel right within yourself and to outgrow the discomforts that attached to you before. It will free you from giving your life away to people and things and places inappropriately and prematurely. It will free you from all the suffering of indecision, self-doubt, and self-recrimination. It will do this gradually because it takes time to change, to shift your allegiance within yourself. Allegiance from your ideas and the ideas of others to a deeper power that is guiding you from within yourself. You begin to recognize this power in others and to see its central importance in your life and in the welfare of all of humanity. You are here on a journey in the world. You have the choice of whether to be lost in the world or to be able to experience a greater purpose and reality being in the world. These two approaches render an entirely different experience of life from one another. You can look around you to see the consequences dramatically being portrayed by people choosing to live in separation. and the suffering and the uncertainty and the disastrous decisions that result from taking and maintaining this position. If you look, you will find there are far fewer examples of people following knowledge. You will see the evidence of knowledge in their lives, and this will inspire you and remind you that knowledge lives within you as well, and that wherever you go and whatever you do, God is there. And the second reading I tied into this because the journey of the soul for me is a great mystery, and it's part of the mystery. It's a big part, I feel, of the mystery. And with this step, step 34 of continuation training, my life is a mystery to explore, really shares its wisdom on this as well. And the unseen ones say, we continue this practice from steps to knowledge because it is so very true. Your life is a great mystery. It is not simply the accumulation of your activities each day, your work, your hobbies, your family obligations, your tendencies, your fears, and your phobias. This is only the outer part of yourself, the part that is shaped and conditioned by your worldly experiences. Yet there is a greater mystery for you to explore and to discover. Enter the realm of stillness in your long practice today and utilize this great mystery in exercising the strength of awareness and discernment upon the hour. Bring this mystery into your experience, into your daily life, into your Monday circumstances, and with it, you shall bring strength, grace, and resolution, both for yourself and for others. Please join me now in a 30-minute stillness practice. Take whatever time you need to read your own step and enter stillness and the mystery when you are ready. Nase Navari Karon. While we are in this place of stillness, I'd like to share a passage from the New Message speaking about the messenger. And what I'll be reading is from the One God, from chapter 10, How God Speaks to the World. And this was revealed to Marshall D. N. Summers on April 16th, 2008, in Tehran, Iran. Tehran, Iran. God watches over the world, for the world is a troubled place. It has always been so. That is why you have come to the world. It is a place where God has been forgotten, and your true nature has been forgotten. It is a place of competition and conflict, where life is difficult, where you must constantly solve the problems of your daily existence. It is a place where people seem foreign to one another and foreign to themselves as God has created them. It is a place of appearances. It is a place of sensations. It is a wonderful and dangerous, beautiful but confusing. It is where the separated have come to live, to learn how to give again, and to bridge the gap so that the separation may be ended this time. No one has come here by accident. Everyone has been sent for a purpose. This purpose remains undiscovered within you now, but you must find it, for that is the great pursuit in life. Beyond meeting your basic requirements to exist in this reality, you must find this purpose, for this is how God will speak to you, and this is how you will find your way. For God speaks to the world through a deeper knowledge within the individual, and through the power of united relationships, where this deeper power can be expressed and experienced between two or more people. Periodically, God speaks to the world to deliver a message to the world. This is a very infrequent, perhaps only happening every few centuries. God's message to the world is meant to last for a very long time, and is meant to affect and influence the minds and hearts of people for a very long time. These messages are given at pivotal points in human evolution and at great times of change and times of great need. God speaks to the world through these great messages. They are beyond the immediate needs of the individual. They encompass the great needs of humanity as a whole, and for the welfare and evolution of humanity as a whole. God is speaking out to the world through the new message from God, through the messenger that has been sent to the world to prepare humanity to face a world in decline. A world whose resources are diminishing. A world where people will have to cooperate with one another and end their ceaseless conflicts. A world that is entering a dangerous period, more dangerous than any period you have ever known. A world that is facing contact with life in the universe. A world that is facing intervention from races from the universe who are here to take advantage of a weak and divided humanity. Never think that God has stopped communicating to the world. Never think that the final message for all time has been given. This is human presumption. This is established to protect a belief and an ideology. But God watches over the world, and humanity is now facing its greatest challenges as a whole. How will it respond? How will it prepare? Will it be able to comprehend the great change that is coming? Will it fight and struggle with itself over the remaining resources? Will it unite to defend the world against foreign intervention? This is a time of great decision. Whether humanity will fail or whether humanity will unite for its preservation and to preserve its sovereignty in this world. Let us spend a few moments together to be with Marshall and Patricia and Reed and all the society members and each other to send Marshall our love, strength, and devotion and gratitude for the life that he has given. Now see if there are others in the world or in your life who need to receive this strength or any other attribute as well. If so, spend a moment sending strength or another quality to these individuals. Nase Nambari Kuro. Thank you all for coming.